Good afternoon, and welcome to another segment of the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia's Boots on the Ground, Black Man Standing. We're so excited today. Again, before we go into introduce you to our wonderful guest today, I just want to again thank everyone. Those of you had tuned in, please tune in again. And those of you that wish to support us, look at our website, and that is somewhere on the bottom here, and holler at us and support what we're doing. But again, I'm excited today because the Black Male Community Council, as we've said in the past, we have a wonderful group of women that support us, and they're the Black Female Support Team of the Black Male Community Council of Philadelphia. And today with us, we have Christine Abdur Rahim, who is this sister is just so wonderful, beautiful inside and out. And what she brings to the Black Male Community Council, it's worth its weight in gold. We've been working together about 3 or 4 years now, and watching her give of her talents to the Black Male Community Council is just a wonderful thing to see. She is a devout Muslim. She is a community activist. She is one of the forerunners of Gadenzia House here in Philadelphia, and how she gives of her energy and spirit to those that she comes in contact with is legendary. So I'd like to introduce or say good afternoon to Christine.
Good afternoon, Kofi. I'm kind of nervous. I'm the kind of person that likes to be behind the scenes.
That's right.
And but I relish this moment.
Well, I was so happy that you agreed to do it. Mm-hmm. I know you are a behind-the-scenes person, and you have been intricate in a lot of things that have made good works here in Philadelphia. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd like you to be able to tell our audience more about you, and how did you get from point A to point B, just in terms of the work that you've been able to do here in Philadelphia, and what has sparked you to be able to even do that as a black woman in America?
Well, since we only got a few moments, I'm going to try to condense about me. First, I want to say that I've been here. What do you say? Eight decades. That means I'll be 80 years old in December.
Wow! Can I have what you eating? Can I get a glass of whatever that is?
I think that comes from a spiritual point of view.
All right,
I don't know the things I do. I don't know how. But for the grace of a power greater than me, that I'm able to have my health and well-being, especially after what I did to myself, like you say, in order to get to where I am today. I'm a mother of 4. Mm-hmm. My oldest son was killed. Baby mama drama.
Okay.
And I was an active addict for almost 17 years in the city of Philadelphia.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go into the whys and how come. I want to stick to what is. Mm-hmm. And what is that I raised 4 kids, four children, 3 boys and a girl. And it was really hard for me. Mm-hmm. And I found myself, looking for ways out of what I was feeling.
Sure.
I found it in, doing drugs.
I hear you.
And unfortunately for me, not knowing what I was doing to myself, and what I was doing to my family, I ended up in Muncie State Correctional Institution for Women. And as direct result of my behavior, not giving it to nobody else, I used to blame my mother, and I definitely blame God.
Okay,
Because
okay.
if there was a loving, living God, how in the world did my life become such a mess?
Mm.
And I ended up in Muncie, and the same God that I turned my back on, I see today, was there for me and helped me to get to where I am today.
Wow.
I ended up in Muncie, didn't stay long, and everybody said everybody said, girl, once you get in there, you ain't getting out of there.
Mm.
But I got out a couple months, long enough for me to see I didn't want no more of that.
Okay, doc. Okay.
And coming out of Muncie, I went straight to a recovery program called Gaudenzia.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through it as a client, and as a client, everybody said, Christine, you make a good counselor. And I kept looking at, people that was counseling and people that was there, and I kept saying, I could do that.
Okay.
I could do that.
Okay.
And lo and behold, I started doing that. In Gaudenzia, I went from a client to division director of the Eastern region.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And in the work, I was so wanting to help the women because I knew what the challenges were, And so within that program, a couple wonderful women and myself, we were able to open up programs for women with their children.
Wow.
That had their barriers because you could only bring 2. Most women had 4 or whatever. But it was a start.
Right.
It was a opening because that wasn't being done before.
Anywhere. Okay.
Right. So we did that, and mental health. Gaudenzia did a lot of mental health. I tried to focus just on the women and the babies, and but I moved around Gaudenzia a lot. Helped open up programs in Maryland, Delaware, and we started opening programs outside of Pennsylvania.
So let me get this straight. You went to Muncie, right?
Yeah.
Right. You didn't have the easiest life, right?
No.
Right. You were dealing with some real serious issues, right? But you were able to commit yourself to the God that you speak to in the midnight hour, and from that you went from a client in a addiction program to being someone that sets up programs in other cities and states. Wow, so again, I'd like to have some of the whatever you was drinking. So, because that is a fantastic story, and a great accomplishment. But it's evident that I see in terms of the respect that I see everybody that I've been around that comes in contact with you. Your aura is one that is extremely acceptable and seems to be very much wanted by those that you come in contact with. Could you talk about that for a little bit in terms of what makes you so vibrant, all that you've been through, and your spirit is clear?
Gratitude. Plain, simple gratitude. I am so grateful that I was able to come from where I came from and to be able to help somebody else in their struggle.
Okay.
And very, very grateful. I don't know. Each day that I wake up today, I say thank you. Okay, I say thank you, because I know that a lot of what I'm doing today is not because I'm so smart, because I have some issues that are, preventing me from doing some things. And knowing and looking back in my life, man, it was, I know I had a power greater than me that restored me to some type of sanity.
God
I know
restores.
it. Yes, yes. And I know that call it whatever you want, but I call it, God my understanding. And working with Cadenza, I learned a lot about systems, a lot about,
Structure.
people, and listening to the women in the groups and stuff, crying about their babies and their lives and stuff was really, really in my heart. It just, I don't know how to describe it.
You just did.
I always got to go home and just, how can I help her today?
Wow.
What can I do to help her today? It was always, I'm always in a mood like that because I just started to believe that there's no one that's beyond change.
Wow. Okay. Okay. It's interesting you said it because when Stanley and when Stan made the call for the Black Male Community Council, that was one thing. But even we've been, as you know, Stanley and we've been friends like for 60 years, right?
Right.
And we started on this track to be able to develop something like 10 years ago. And we were talking about that. Well, who are we gonna get to help us? First person he said, I gotta call Christine. He said, we can't go no further until I call Christine.
Wow.
And so and when we began to deal with the Black Male Community Council and develop the a Black female support team, I know that you were the first phone call he made, and rightfully so. Could you talk a little bit about why did you say yes?
For several reasons. One was my relationship with Stanley. And I found him to be a visionary person that has integrity and all the attributes of a good guy.
Right, I hear you.
Cutting it simple.
Right, cutting it simple.
A good guy. I've hung around him enough to see, that about him. And that's first and foremost.
Okay.
I trust him. And the other reason is my grandson was murdered. And he was shot in execution style. They put him on his knees.
Wow.
And shot him 4 times in his head. As a grandmother, I couldn't understand. Even though I've been in the field, even though I've done so much work,
Sure.
when something happened to you personally, it's a different feeling. And this is right in the time that Stanley's situation happened. So we kind of
That's a connection.
really bonded,
Surely.
and I really wanted this to work because too many of our babies, too many of our children, is caught up in whatever this madness is. You think you constantly, people like ourselves, we constantly thinking, okay, what can we do? We run to politicians, we run to the police, we run here, we run there, and we want to know what can we do. And sometimes if you don't have faith,
All right.
if you don't have faith, because being around as long as I've been around, I several times I say to hell with it, it ain't gonna never change. I'm not gonna bother.
All right.
But because I have faith that it is gonna change, because I have faith that we're going to come up with a real, genuine plan.
That's right.
to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to stop seeing our children. We're going to stop seeing our communities. We're going to stop seeing the madness.
Amen to that.
You know?
Amen to that.
You got to believe. You got to have faith. You cannot give up. You know, none of us have the answers. We can't
That's
depend
right.
on no mayor. We can't depend on no president. You know, we have to look at the situation that we're in realistically. And I grew up with it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand what that means. You know, how can you address family stuff and you don't include the family?
Right, right.
You know, how can you address that these grandmothers like myself? Because this is hard being a grandmother. I mean, in my scheme of things, after I worked and been around this for so long, you know, and I often say I'm tired. I'm tired. I often say I'm tired, you know, but I keep getting that one more day. I keep getting that one more day that maybe I could
make a difference.
help and make a difference.
Well, you are making a difference, and I'm happy that you are with us, and you see the growth of the Black Male Community Council in this lovely space that we have now, understanding our humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
You know, and every interview, there's a moment when we're able to reflect on those humble beginnings.
Absolutely.
And be respectful to that.
Absolutely.
And humble ourselves to understand that we just scratching the surface.
But
you
know
know?
what's powerful to me? What's powerful to me, seeing the humble beginnings, being a part of the humble beginnings, in the little rooms that we started in, with the people that we started
That's
with,
right.
who good people.
Mm-hmm.
Just you know, seeing all of that and where we at today, but the feeling is we didn't get a whole lot of money from anybody to do anything that's been done here, but a whole lot of hard work from people,
That's right.
that wants to make a difference,
That's right.
you know, and to bring it from there to here gives me hope. Keep that hope alive.
Wow. Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive, you know, and you got to have those little moments. And just seeing what has happened here and how it started and the people like yourself that was a part of it and all of that comes with building.
Cool. Yep.
You know, how I see this 5 years from now, we're all going to be able to sit back and say, we did it.
All right.
We made a difference.
We made a difference. Well, Christine, madam, I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit and with us. And your words, your energy, your spirit, I'm sure is being felt by our audience and those who will have the opportunity to sit and listen to your energy and the words that you've been able to share with us today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. And thank you. We'll be back shortly with the Black Male Community Council's Boots on the Ground, Black Man Standing.
Black man standing.
Peace and blessings.
And they always got a woman behind them now.
And a woman behind us. Peace and blessings.